welcome back to the Rabbitat Homestead. My name's Ashley. So this is part 6 of our Raising Meat Bird series. And today our Buff Orpingtons are 6 weeks old and our Cornish crosses are 5 weeks old. So they're a week apart. You can probably already see how much bigger the Cornish crosses are compared to the Buff Orpingtons. We've been raising them in this 5x5 chicken tractor. It has 25 square feet space in it, and don't ask me how many birds we have. We started out with 55, I believe, and we've lost a few. So I haven't been able to count them. They just move around too quick, but they're getting crowded in this chicken tractor. So what I'm going to do today is move them down to the chicken tractor down in the field. That's a bigger chicken tractor. It's 6x6 and it has 36 square feet space. And I'm also going to move this one down as well. I'm going to split them up in half, maybe put more in the bigger tractor, but so I'm going to move this down. Right now it's kind of right in front of our house, so I'm going to move it down in the field with the other chicken tractor, so we'll have 2 down there. And we'll be moving the chicken tractor once a day every morning. And we'll give them a couple hours to kind of forage in the new grass, the new fresh grass that they get every morning. And then we'll make sure that we feed them. Because of course, the more you feed them, the quicker they grow. These chickens are free ranging right now, so we raise our chickens 2 different ways. We kind of do a combination of the both. So the first way we raise them is range confinement, which is when we keep them in chicken tractors. Now, range confinement is basically you raise them in the chicken tractor and they stay in the chicken tractor. You just move it once a day, give them fresh grass, and then you feed them after a couple hours of them grazing. As they get older, sometimes you have to move the chicken tractor once or more than once a day, twice a day sometimes, because as they get older, they eat a lot quicker, they trample the grass a lot quicker, and they have a lot more waste and droppings in the tractor. So we do a combination of the range confinement in the chicken tractors, and we also free range them. Today they've been free ranging since early this morning. I'll come out here, I'll lift it up, hold it up with a bucket so they can go underneath if they want. I have water over here for them to drink, and they just free range. And the great benefit to that is they get to practice their natural chicken behaviors. I think they're a lot happier this way. And they also eat a lot of bugs around our house and just kind of keep down on, ticks and other bugs that are in the grass, which is a great benefit to having them. So some days we free range, some days we do the chicken tractor, but we do a combination of both. A nice day like today where I'm home today, any day that I'm home all day, I'll make sure that I let them free range. You do have to be careful. They're at a small age right now where they could easily be picked up by a hawk or some type of big bird, which we do have around here, but that's one of the reasons why we got so many birds, because we knew that we were going to lose quite a few. On our property, we have a hard time keeping chickens on our property, especially if we free range them every day. We actually just lost one of our roosters yesterday from free ranging. Not sure what it was, but every once in a while something will just come right in the middle of the day and take one of our birds. So that's why we bought so many meat birds, because we expected to lose a few. We've already lost a handful of birds. So like I said, I don't know how many we have, but we expect to lose a few, whether it's, hawks or other predators, ground predators, or health issues and stuff like that. So right now I'm going to move this down in the field. I'm going to split them up between the 2 chicken tractors and give them some more space. All right, so let's get this chicken tractor down in the field. right, so now we got the chicken tractor down in the field, and we have our larger chicken tractor where we're housing our egg layers currently right now. Now they have a small wooden nest box in their chicken tractor that they lay in, but we move that every day. But we do have a round pen and a chicken house for them to stay in. It's just easier for us to keep them in the chicken tractor in the springtime as opposed to the chicken house. But today, since our meat birds need to go in the big chicken tractor, we're gonna move our egg layers back to their hen house. So let's get these egg layers back where they belong, and we can split up the meat birds into the 2 chicken tractors so we can move them once a day in the chicken tractors and also free range them. So this is our large chicken tractor that we built. It is 6x6 and it has 36 square feet space inside. Currently our egg layers are in here. We gave them a little nesting box and they all lay in there just fine. But now it's time to put our meat birds in here and split them up between the 2 chicken tractors. So we're gonna put our egg layers back over where they belong, back in their hen house. They have a little round pen. We put them in here temporarily to help some of the grass kind of grow back, because it was all kind of a mud pit in the spring after all the snow melted. So we moved them in this chicken tractor for the last month or so, and now some grass finally started growing back. So we're gonna put them back there, and we're gonna move our meat birds in this chicken tractor. All right, so in order to get my birds where I want them to be, I haven't fed any of them food at all. They've just been free ranging, and I moved the egg layers chicken tractor this morning. So in order to get the egg layers up to their hen house, once I start shaking this food, the meat birds are gonna come running, and then I'm gonna have birds all over the place. So I'm gonna get the meat birds in the small chicken tractor, and then once they're in there, I'm gonna hoax the egg layers into their round pen. That way I don't have a big chicken mix up and it's a big pain. So let's get to that. Let's go get the meat birds. All right, so the shaking the food isn't working. I probably haven't been shaking the food enough when I feed them every day to get them familiar with the sound. So this is a new area. They've never been down here before. So I'm gonna grab the PVC tractor, take it up there, pour this in it. They're all gonna gather, and then I'll just kind of pull them down here and get them in there. So they're originally up there in front of the house, and I dumped some food in here and was able to grab them all, get them all inside this PVC tractor. And then I'm gonna move them. They're gonna move along with the chicken tractor down into the field, and then I'm gonna get them into the bigger tractor. I'm just waiting for them to eat the food that I just poured all over the ground. All right, so it wasn't as easy as I thought, but I was able to get them down here with the PVC tractor, and now I got to get them all in here. So I'm probably just going to take them all by hand and stick them in here. It's just a matter of training your birds. Every time you feed them, you want to shake the bucket. You want them to hear the sound of the food, and that will just train them. When they hear that noise, they know they're about to get fed. So as the days go on, as I feed them, I'll make sure I shake it. And when I let them free range, they'll know when I shake it and dump it in here, they'll all gather in here. And it shouldn't be a problem. It's just a matter of training the birds. So now I got to get them in here, and then I got to move the egg layers back where they belong, and then I'll have 2 open chicken tractors for them to move around in every day. So this is our hen house. This is where we keep our egg layers. It was pretty muddy in here. There's a lot of shavings all over the ground, but some grass is starting to grow back. So now I'm gonna go ahead and move the egg layers back over here. Come on, guys. Come on. So they're eating their cantaloupe. They're exactly where I want them to be. They got their water and they're all set. So let's go back over to the meat bird and talk a little bit more about them. Okay guys, so I finally got my meat birds down in the field here, and they're all in this 5x5 chicken tractor, and there's a lot of space in here for them right now. The next time that I let them free range, which will probably be tomorrow, I will split them up between the 2 chicken tractors. But I think there was enough stress put on them today, just moving them from across the property. So they're all set in their chicken tractor. They have their water. They free ranged all day today. It's coming to the end of the day, and as you can see, they're all kind of resting and laying around. So there's one very important reason why you want to make sure that you make sure your chickens are content. You don't want your chickens to be bored, and you don't want them to be overcrowded. Now, if they are bored or overcrowded, they can develop this bad habit, and they'll actually start, it's called cannibalism, and they'll start pecking at each other. They'll start pecking at their tail feathers and making them bleed, and basically killing that chicken. So what you want to do is prevent boredom. You want to promote normal chicken behavior, foraging, scratching, dust bathing, which is one huge reason why we let them free range. We always want our chickens to be happy, and we know that free ranging is, I mean, obviously that's the best way to keep a chicken happy, is to let them free range. So we move our chicken tractor once a day, and then the days that we're home all day, we will let them free range. We'll just stick a bucket under here, and they'll just free range around the field. And that also keeps down on bugs on the property as well. Now, chickens that are more confined, raised in more of a confined environment, and don't really have the room to move around freely, they tend to grow quicker because they're more reliant on the food that you feed them. But their meat will be more tender but less flavorful. So they'll grow a lot quicker, which will lead to more tender meat, but it's not as flavorful, as opposed to a chicken that is free ranging and doing those normal chicken behaviors and being more active. Our chickens are very active because we let them free range and we move them once a day. So allowing the chickens to free range creates a more darker, firmer, more flavorful meat, but they also tend to grow much slower than chickens that are confined and rely mostly on food. They'll grow much quicker, they'll have a much tender meat, but it just won't be as flavorful, but they're also more cost-effective to raise. Now, we don't raise our meat birds to save money. We raise them so we know where our food comes from. That's what's most important to us. So we're definitely not saving money by any means by raising our own meat. I would say that raising rabbits for meat is much more cost-effective for us than raising chickens. But it's just a matter of knowing where our chicken comes from and producing our own, being more self-sufficient. So we like to promote the more natural chicken behaviors, which is one reason why I like the heritage breed chickens a lot. We lean more on free ranging, slower growth, and doing it this way, I think they live a lot more healthier and happier life. Now, between range confinement in the chicken tractors and just free ranging, now what a lot of people will do, and which we've done in the past, is raise them in a range confinement setting in the chicken tractors for 8 weeks, and then we'll slaughter a few of them as fryers, and then the rest of them will raise in a free range setting, which is where we'll, they'll live in this chicken tractor, but we'll lift it up and let them out in free range every day. And then at the end in like 4 to 5 weeks, we'll process them as broiler chickens, as roasters. And that method works pretty well if you're raising a lot of meat birds all at once. And if you only have a few people to process. Like for me, we do it ourselves. We don't send it off to anybody. We don't send our chickens off to anybody to process. We do it ourselves here. And usually it's just me and my husband that do it. And it's quite the lengthy process, and it's a lot of work. So doing that type of method really helps smaller homesteads, small farms, when it comes to raising meat birds. Now you could also just raise them in batches. You could do one set in the spring and then one set towards the end of July or so. But we like to do them all together, get them done, get them out of the way, and be done with it. So we do it all at once, and we have one really long processing day, and then we have plenty of meat in our freezer, and it's very rewarding at the end of the day. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching and coming along and watching my kind of chicken Tetris going on today on the homestead, kind of juggling my egg layers and my meat birds and figuring out where I wanted them to be. So all my meat birds are out in the field. I can move this chicken tractor once a day. For days that I go to work, I'll just move them in the morning and I'll give them some food, and then when I get home, I'll give them more food. And then on days that I'm off, I'll just put the bucket under here, let them free range all day. And I need to work on these guys with training them to come when I shake the food. So I'll be working on that. They didn't do it today. Usually I was able to get them in the PVC tractor up there and sprinkle the food and get them all in there, but they're familiar with that area. So I had to kind of bring them down here with the chicken tractor, with the PVC chicken tractor, and get them down here and all settled. But the next time that I let them free range, I'm gonna split them up between the two tractors, especially as they start to get bigger. They'll need more space. So tonight they'll be all right in here. They have their water, plenty of water with their apple cider vinegar. And I think they've had plenty of exercise today. So thanks for coming along and hanging out with me while I did my chicken Tetris. And if you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments down below, and I'll be sure to answer them. But in the meantime, thanks for watching and have a good day.